Who in the world pays $330,000 for a 2012 base model C6 Corvette and living next door to Jeff Bezos? Today, I read an interesting article on yahoo.com put out by Road and Track and written by Lucas Bell titled, "Why Did Someone Buy This Base C6 Corvette for $330,000?" When I read this title today, I had to wonder why in the world would someone pay that much money for a base model C6 Corvette from 2012? The performance of those cars pale in comparison to the new Corvettes. Also, the interior is really cheap on that generation. Sit in one and you'll be disappointed by the quality of the leather and plastic. I sat in one years ago when they were practically new, and I didn't know why people paid so much for them back then. That was far less than $330,000 too. Sit in a 20-year-old Lexus LS430, and the leather and quality of the plastic is on a completely different level. I realize one is a sports car and the other is a luxury car, but it's like sitting in a Gulfstream jet seat versus sitting in a lawn chair. So I'm sure you want to know why someone paid $330,000 for this 2012 base model C6 Corvette. Well, it only had 65 miles on the odometer. What's the point of that, though? You have a car you can never drive because if you do, the value is going to go down. You'll probably never be able to get your $330,000 back out of the car because that is a sky-high price for that particular generation. Not to mention, you could buy two brand new Corvettes for the same price with far better performance and a better quality interior, and you'd be able to drive them and enjoy them. Now, someone in the comments section beneath this article said he was at this auction and the car was supposedly owned by Jon Voight. Now, this person is an actor, and he was in some big movies like Enemy of the State, Varsity Blues, National Treasure, The Rainmaker, and Transformers. But I don't see how that really increases the value that much. It's not like the car was owned by Steve McQueen and used in a movie. Sometimes people get carried away at auctions and end up paying more than they should for things. I've personally seen it happen. Some sellers get really lucky when this happens. If someone gave me $330,000 and said, "You can only spend this money on Corvettes," I would buy a 1957 red and white model, and I'd still have about $200,000 left over. I would then buy a silver 1963 split window coupe. To get nice examples of both cars, you could burn up $330,000. Now, if someone said, "You can just have $330,000, I wouldn't buy either of those cars. I would invest the money and keep driving my 2004 Toyota Camry with 424,000 miles on the odometer. It's such a good car. Nothing against American-made vehicles of the past, but the Camry is superior in engineering from a reliability standpoint and the quality of materials. If I was going to buy a sports car, I've always liked the mid-1990s Dodge Viper GTS models in blue with white factory stripes. It reminds me so much of the old Cobras. I saw one brand new back in 1996 at a gas station, and I vividly remember the super cool polished metal gas cap sticking out of the rear quarter panel. It just reminded me of something you'd see on a race car where they pour the gas in with one of those big tanks. That wouldn't cost anywhere near $330,000, and the performance would be much better than a 2012 base model Corvette. I have a friend who owned one of these, and he was a big muscular guy. He said driving that Viper GTS in city traffic even made his leg tired. He also said the big V10 engine threw off a ton of heat that you could feel inside the car. He did say that Dodge Viper GTS got a lot of attention. He would drive it through neighborhoods, and kids would stop what they were doing and take out their phone to take pictures or videos. That's just a Viper, kids. I don't know how much I believe that story. It's not like it was a McLaren or a Bugatti. I think people would get more excited about cars like that. But what do I know? I'm just some guy on YouTube with a gong. I'm curious, what do you think about all this? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. On the topic of expensive things, I read an interesting article today on yahoo.com, put out by Business Insider and written by Jordan Pandy and Madeline Berg, titled, "Tom Brady is open to selling his new Miami mansion. It's the latest sign of Jeff Bezos' effect on his neighbors." According to the authors, Tom Brady bought a vacant lot in this area for $17 million in 2020 and built a mansion on the property. Apparently, he has received offers exceeding $150 million because of the Jeff Bezos effect. Here are my thoughts. Why does everyone want to pay that kind of money to live next to Jeff Bezos? Do they think it will lead to some big business deals if they become friends? Do they think Jeff Bezos is going to invite them to sail on his yacht? Maybe they think Jeff Bezos is going to show up at their door, ring the bell, and say, "Here are some cookies. I just wanted to welcome you to the neighborhood." My friends, I would have zero interest in living down the street from Jeff Bezos. For a fraction of the money mentioned in this article, you could buy a nice gated estate home that is very private with no HOA. I'd much rather be gated off from the outside world on a large plot of land where I could have a bonfire without some neighbor calling the police or the fire department. I'd also prefer to have natural land with trees and walking paths where nature could be enjoyed on a daily basis. Looking out the window and seeing yachts sailing by does absolutely nothing for me. I don't want people sailing by on yachts and staring in my wall of windows. I hope Tom Brady gets the money he wants out of his property. Maybe the guy who overpaid for the C6 Corvette will overpay for Tom Brady's house. Maybe he'll get $200 million or $300 million for it. For some billionaires, that's like the equivalent of you buying a fancy new living room furniture set at a pricey furniture store. I'm curious, would you want to live down the street from Jeff Bezos? If so, tell me about it in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to the channel. I want to extend a special thanks to everyone who has subscribed to this channel. I want to also thank all of my channel members. If you would like to become a channel member, there is a link in the description beneath this video. You can read more about the different membership levels. Please also check out some of the great books that I suggest you consider reading in the description below. I've included Amazon affiliate links to these books. As an Amazon associate, I earn from qualifying purchases. Stay healthy and wealthy. I'll see everyone in the next video.